When I unveiled a new apartment to my fiancée, she murmured to her maid of honor, "Ideal. Simpler for my ex to drop by." They both chuckled. I caught every syllable. 2 days later, she found herself locked out of the lease she never signed. Her expression was priceless, pure, unfiltered delight. It was the moment I'd been striving for over 6 months, the result of late nights at the office and extra weekend shifts. I had just opened the door to a stunning top-floor apartment with a view spanning the entire city and handed the keys to my fiancée, Emily. "Surprise," I said. For a fleeting moment, seeing her eyes sparkle, I felt it was all worthwhile. "Oh my gosh, James," she gasped, stepping inside. "You did this for us." Her best friend and maid of honor, Sarah, trailed behind, her jaw practically hitting the floor. They darted from room to room, exclaiming over the spacious closet, the large kitchen counter, the balcony bigger than Emily's current living room. This was the vision, the grand gesture, the place where we were meant to begin our married life in 3 months. I had signed the lease, paid the deposit, and the first month's rent, all from my personal savings, all in my name alone. It was a surprise, after all. "I'm just going to grab the champagne from the car," I said, feeling on top of the world. I left them to explore and headed to the garage. It took a moment to locate the cooler in the trunk. When I returned, the apartment door was slightly ajar. I could hear their hushed, excited voices. I was about to push the door open and make my grand entrance with the champagne when I heard my name. I stopped dead, my hand hovering over the doorknob. It was Sarah's voice, a sly whisper. "I can't believe he actually pulled this off. It's massive. So what's your plan with Ryan?" Ryan? Her ex? The one she insisted was just a friend, the one she texted constantly, the one who gave me a constant knot in my stomach. Emily's response came with a light, unfamiliar laugh, nothing like the one she used with me moments before. "What do you mean? This is perfect. My old place was so cramped. It was such a hassle for him to come over when James was away. So much easier now," Sarah giggled. "Oh, you're awful. He'll never suspect," Emily said casually. "He's so caught up with work and wedding plans, he wouldn't notice if Ryan was crashing on our couch." The champagne bottle in my hand suddenly felt like it weighed a ton. The world tilted. Every doubt I'd buried, every warning sign I'd ignored, crashed over me in that gut-punching moment. She didn't see a home. She saw a better setup for her betrayal. My grand gesture wasn't the foundation for our future, it was an upgrade for her affair. I stepped back from the door quietly. I stood in the hallway for what felt like an eternity, my heart thundering in my ears. Their laughter echoed from inside my apartment. I took a deep breath, steadied myself, and forced a smile. Then I walked in. "Who's ready for a toast?" I said, raising the bottle. Update 1: the next 48 hours were a performance. I played the role of the perfect, devoted fiancé. We celebrated all weekend. I listened as Emily gushed about decor and color schemes. I watched her snap countless photos, posting them online with captions like, "Our dream home. Luckiest girl alive, future Mrs. Carter." She was so caught up in her triumph, so sure of my obliviousness, that she didn't notice the shift in my gaze. She didn't see that I stopped touching her, that my smiles were hollow, that I was studying her like a predator observing its prey. While she planned her new life, I was unraveling it. My first call Monday morning was to the property manager. I explained briefly, professionally, the engagement is off due to unexpected circumstances. The lease is in my name only, and my fiancé will not be moving in. I need the locks on Unit 1201 changed immediately. I'll be the only key holder. The manager, no stranger to drama, was accommodating. A locksmith could be there by 5 p.m. perfect. My second call was to the moving company I'd booked for the following weekend to transfer our belongings from our separate apartments. I canceled, losing the deposit, a small price to pay. My third call was to my attorney. I laid out everything, including what I'd overheard. He confirmed that since Emily wasn't on the lease and had never established residency, I could legally bar her access. He also advised separating our finances immediately. That afternoon, while Emily was at work, I acted. I closed the joint account we'd used for wedding expenses, which I'd mostly funded. I canceled the supplementary credit card she used for everything from fuel to groceries. I contacted the jeweler holding our wedding bands and canceled the order. Emily had already moved some belongings into the apartment over the weekend. Clothes, designer bags, her laptop. eager to get a head start, she'd said. So, on my way to meet the locksmith, I rented a 5x5 storage unit nearby, paying for a month in her name. I carefully moved all her items to the unit, photographing everything to document their condition. I left the unit unlocked with a new padlock placed inside atop her boxes. The locksmith arrived and changed the locks. I took the old keys, the ones I'd given her with pride 2 days earlier, and tossed them into a sewer grate. I returned to my old apartment, the one I was supposed to vacate, and waited. At 8 p.m., my phone rang. It was Emily, livid. "My key doesn't work," she shouted. "I went to drop off another box, and I can't get in. Did you give me the wrong one?" "No, Emily," I said calmly. "That key's useless now." "What does that mean? What's going on?" "The doorman said a locksmith was here." "Exactly," I replied. "I changed the locks." "You don't live there." Silence. "What are you talking about?" "Of course I live there. We're moving in this weekend." "No," I said, my voice icy. "We're not." "I heard you, Emily. I was at the door. I heard you and Sarah talking about Ryan and how this apartment would make it easier for him to visit." A different silence now, like a trapped animal. "You heard that?" she stammered. "Every word, every laugh." "So here's the deal. You're not my fiancée anymore. You're not moving into my apartment. We're done. Your stuff is in a storage unit. I'm texting you the address and unit number now. The rest of your things are at your old place. I suggest you call your landlord to see if you can stay." "You can't do this," she screamed, panic rising. "My name's on the lease." "No, it's not," I said. "Check it. The lease is mine. The deposit was my money. The rent came from my account. You have no legal claim to that apartment. You were a guest, and now you're not. Goodbye, Emily." I hung up, blocked her number, then blocked Sarah's. The storm was just beginning. Update 2: the aftermath was wilder than I expected. Emily and Sarah, cut off from contacting me, went on the attack. They launched a vicious smear campaign across social media and among our mutual friends. Their version? I was a cruel manipulator who lured Emily with a dream apartment only to heartlessly kick her out for no reason, all over a harmless, misinterpreted joke. They omitted Ryan entirely. My phone buzzed with messages from near strangers calling me a monster. Emily's mother called, yelling that I'd ruined her daughter's life and threatening to sue. Her father sent a long, menacing email vowing to destroy my career. I ignored it all. Instead, I moved to phase 2. I had one ace up my sleeve they didn't know about: the building's advanced security system, which included audio recording in common areas for safety. The hallway outside my apartment was one such area. My lawyer requested the audio from that specific time and date. The management provided it. The recording was pristine: Sarah's question about Ryan, Emily's gleeful betrayal, their laughter, all crystal clear. I composed a concise email to everyone invited to our wedding, including Emily's family. The subject: clarification on my breakup with Emily. The message was brief: there's been misinformation about the end of my engagement to Emily. For clarity, I'm sharing the facts. Below is a link to an audio file recorded in a common area of my apartment building. It contains the conversation that led to my decision. It should address any questions. I attached the file and sent it. The impact was immediate, like a grenade in their sob story. The angry messages stopped, replaced by apologies from friends who'd bought Emily's lies. People were appalled. The undeniable evidence of her deceit was airtight. Within hours, Emily and Sarah deleted their social media accounts. Her parents' threats ceased. They had no legal ground, and they knew it. Their social standing crumbled. They were exposed as deceivers. Days later, Emily's landlord called. She'd given notice on her old apartment, which was already re-rented. She was effectively homeless, crashing on Sarah's couch until their friendship imploded under the scandal's weight and Sarah's tarnished reputation. Emily's parents rented a U-Haul to move her things from the storage unit back to her childhood bedroom. The woman who planned to live in a luxury apartment was now, at 30, surrounded by teenage posters in her parents' house. Final update: 6 months later, I'm thriving in the apartment alone. What was once tainted by her betrayal is now my haven, a testament to my independence. The wedding, naturally, never happened. I recovered some deposits, but lost a chunk of money. I don't care. It's the cost of my freedom, a bargain to escape a lifetime of lies. Emily's life, from what I hear, is a wreck. She and Sarah are no longer friends. The scandal and couch crashing led to a friendship-ending fight. Sarah blamed Emily for dragging her into the mess. Ryan, the ex, disappeared when the drama hit. He was just a fling, an ego boost, not interested in a shamed, broke ex-girlfriend. He ghosted her. Emily's still with her parents, working as a server to cover her car and credit card debt. She's bitter, telling anyone who'll listen that I destroyed her life, refusing to own her actions. She's the eternal victim. A couple of months ago, I nearly bumped into her at a hardware store while picking up apartment supplies. She was with her mother, looking worn and resentful. When she saw me, her eyes widened in panic, then narrowed into a glare. Her mother started to speak, but Emily yanked her away, practically fleeing. No shouting, no scene, just a quiet, defeated retreat. My revenge wasn't loud or dramatic. It was precise, calculated, and final. I didn't ruin her reputation. She did that herself with the platform I provided. I didn't make her homeless. I just refused to give her a home to betray me in. I removed the safety net she assumed would always be there, and let her fall. She didn't just lose a fiancé and an apartment. She lost the comfortable life she took for granted. And she has only herself to blame. That's the sweetest victory of all.